Hi. Merry Christmas. I was reading in Luke 2, and I was seeing, it was just interesting to me that Joseph and Mary had to go to Bethlehem because Joseph was of the house and lineage of David, which I believe you find in chapter 4 of Luke. And Nathan, he came through Nathan, David's son. Anyways, they went to Bethlehem to be registered. And while they were there, it says that the days were completed for Mary to be delivered. And, there was no room at the inn, so they laid him in the manger in the barn. But what I wanted to talk to you about was the shepherds out in the fields. They were watching over their flock, and then an angel of the Lord stood before them. And it says, the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were greatly afraid. And the angel said, "Do not be afraid, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people." What happened here is a great joy to us here on earth, that Christ came to earth. And I wanted to tell you that there's so many witnesses in this birth, and a lot of them are here in Luke 2. Then, the shepherds, when they heard the angels praising God, and they went right away to the barn, and they saw the baby. And then they went out and they told everybody about what was told them concerning this child. And it says, all those who heard it marveled at these things which were told them by the shepherds. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. I think this is a good example for what we should be doing. We should be pondering things in our heart. And I think that you should really read Luke 2, the whole chapter. At least to, the whole chapter is good. Because it talks about Simeon. He's an old man who God promised would not see death until he saw the Christ child. And then Anna was an old woman, and she also witnessed. God told these people about what was going to be happening, and they were witnesses to it. So you can imagine how amazed Joseph and Mary were about the baby. But what I wanted to tell you also, you are who you are in the secret places of yourself. God sees you, what you do, and what you think about. You are not your public persona. So what you project to the world is not the real you. The real you is how you are when you're alone. And I wanted to ask these questions. What do we think on? What do we think about? What do we desire? What do we chase after? Because that's really what we are. We are these things. So, let's see. I wanted to share some verses with you. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God, and the peace of God that passes all understanding shall guard your hearts and minds. We need God's peace to guard our hearts and minds, because we could become very troubled. In Isaiah, Christ is called the Prince of Peace. He's the one that brings good tidings to us. And I just wanted to... Oh, sorry. Here is Psalm chapter 1, verse 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. And 1 Timothy 4:15, meditate on these things, Give yourself entirely to them, that your progress may be evident to all. So those were just a few verses of meditation. If we put God first, remember that verse that says, thou shalt keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee. We have to keep our mind on God. And that's what Mary did. She was pondering. She was meditating on everything that was happening. And she was considering it. She was thinking about all this stuff. And if you continue reading in Luke 2, you'll see even when Christ was 12 years old, he stayed behind in the temple, and he was asking questions that the priest and the teachers were amazed at. Like, they didn't think a child could have such wisdom. But he's God himself. So we should think about what happened on that morning that Christ was born, all the witnesses that told men what was that he was the Christ, like even the kings, the 3 kings that came to Christ and brought him presents. And there's so many witnesses. Even when Christ was baptized by John the Baptist, the Holy Spirit landed upon him in the form of a dove, and God said from heaven, "This is my beloved Son in whom I'm well pleased." The Jewish nation is waiting for Messiah to come, but he's already come, and his name is Jesus Christ, our Messiah. And we need to think deeply on what he accomplished here on this earth for us, and we should have great joy, glad tidings of great joy. I guess that's all I have to say, but try to notice what you think about, and I just pray that each one of us would consider and ponder the things of God and what he has done for us. All right, thank you. Bye.